Here goes nothing. The last time I posted a video is coming up on 2 years ago, in a day I believe, and that's crazy to think about. If you're tuning in for the first time, which is very likely, very understandable, I appreciate you for giving me your time, and I hope to teach you and tell you a lot about where I've been and what I've been doing. If you can't tell by the title of the video, I wanted to make this video in order to tell you about some of the videos that I've wanted to make and that I've had a lot of conceptual time to think about, but I either didn't have the time or dedication to make. Please enjoy. One Piece is easily in my top 5 anime that I've ever watched of all time. I would give it a more solid and higher ranking than that, but I haven't completely read or watched all of it, so I can't give you like a full synopsis of how I feel about it, but it's easily in my top 5 from what I've seen so far. There are genuinely so many characters that I love and care for and feel very deeply indebted to for like basing my personality off of them, and just a lot of characters that I vibe with and like, and One Piece is so cool. I would say anyway, back on topic, but this is actually my first video that I'm posting that I've had a script for, and I've already gone off script like so many times. That being said, there's been a recent trend of people doing voiceovers, hood dubs, or even abridged versions of animes and TV shows that they really like, and I find that really, really interesting and funny. The ability to have your own inside jokes and own humor put into a show that you really like and have a lot of passion for is something that I really, really wanted to try. That being said, there is one anime that I've seen so far that nobody else has really tried to do an abridged or hood version of, and I thought it would be perfect being inspired by my goat, Rab So Petty. I know that sounds really hard and pretentious to do, and it's even going to be really hard dodging like copyright and Shueisha and Funimation and all that, but I'm not really worried about making money off of this, even if it does get seen. All I really want to do is make jokes and like just vibe with the characters that I've really grown to love over the time of watching One Piece, and I just really think that that'd be a fun thing I want to do. I was so invested in the idea, in fact, that me and my little brother, I'm not even joking, spent like 2 or so hours just watching the first episode of One Piece, writing a script over the characters' dialogue, going through the episode on mute, using our own like script that we used in the episode. It was so much fun. It was genuinely one of my favorite things I've ever done with my little brother. Even if we didn't like completely commit to it, it's still something that I really, really want to do, and it's something that I have a lot of passion for, and it's only grown in passion ever since I've seen more episodes from Rap So Petty or even other dubs and like voiceovers, like the Bleach one. Bro, the Bleach one is so good, just trust me. So I'm sure you're wondering, why didn't I follow through with doing this? I said I have a lot of dedication, I have a lot of passion, I have a lot of effort being put into it. It was fun to do. It was nice bonding time with my little brother. So what's the deal? Well, it's a combination of a lot of things. It's been relationship struggles with my ex, it's been school, it's been responsibilities at home, it's been a lot of things that I can't really control and that I've wanted to get on top of for a very long time. I still really want to do it, and I know my little brother does too, so if I find the time to do it, who knows? If there is one series that I genuinely love to watch and consume on YouTube, it is series retrospectives and breakdowns. Seeing somebody's feelings and personality that they've built with a show that they've watched and they are genuinely and emotionally connected to and have a lot of like care for is something that I love to see. It's something that I love to watch. Even if the videos are really long and long-winded and the person has a lot to say, it just shows their dedication and passion for the show and the love for the characters or whatever's being presented. The ideas that I've wanted to do wouldn't be what they are if I didn't see people doing them themselves and have people I was directly inspired by. Just like I said, I was inspired by Rab So Petty and many, many other abridged/dub people who do overdubs and make it funny and personalized. I'm also inspired by people over here that do video retrospectives and series breakdown. Some of the people who have inspired me are the Friendly Space Ninja RT60, Madvocate, Jay Latane? Anyways, also The Thrifty Typewriter. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what series could I exactly cover that either hasn't been covered before or can be covered in a new way? This show is far more personal to me than a lot would expect or would generally know because, well, I don't upload a lot of videos, and even if I did, I most likely wouldn't tell you why I want to do this one specifically. The show that I want to do is Shameless, and I've noticed that, like, nobody else has wanted to cover it for some reason, and I understand that it's a more R-rated show, and it can get really, interesting sometimes. I still think that it's going to be very nice for me to cover, and I'm going to explain why. This show was one of my birth mother's favorite shows to watch before she had passed away. And whenever I had finished the show in her absence, this was one of the things that I was thinking about while I was watching through it. I wanted to give it a little send-off, like a proper final goodbye of sorts. Now, having firmly finished the show, I think the last few seasons were kind of, but that doesn't make me any less passionate or willing to cover the series in its entirety, the characters that I like, and why. Some of the people that I said before, I'm going to be taking direct inspiration from how they did their retrospectives and how they did their breakdowns of the series that they were covering on their respective channels. I was thinking that I do a tier list of each episode season by season, so each video I post on YouTube would be one season. And as I go through the season, I'd be ranking them in one final total, tier list. And by the end of each episode, I'd rank my favorite male character, my favorite female character, my least favorite female character, and my least favorite male character. And then by the end of it, I was going to combine all my videos and all the seasons into one super long marathon that you could just watch through, and it'll have the very end of the tier list of every single episode of Shameless all in one place that you could see, and just have my opinion on why I put them in certain places. Movies. Man. As a person who has ADHD, movies aren't really my thing, considering how short my attention span can be sometimes. No thanks to the brain rot. There are some movies that have, not to sound dramatic or weird in any way, that have just changed my life and how I view things, how I see things, how I act, the music I listen to, the people that I like, the people that inspire me. The movie that I'm going to be talking about has changed my perspective on a lot of things. How I see myself, how I see my culture, how I see the people who represent my culture and, be activists for it. Before I continue, I would just like to go on notice that I am a mixed child. Black Panther. Man, 2018 Black Panther, I'm telling you, we're not the sequel. We are not talking about the sequel. Anyways, the first Black Panther movie, man, I have so much that I want to say about this movie and just cover why I see it so amazing and how it stayed my favorite movie after all these years, even after movies like Across the Spider-Verse and the first Miles Morales movie, which I can't remember the name of. Anyways, those movies are also in my top 5, don't worry. I wouldn't exactly consider myself a Marvel fan, and definitely not a Marvel movies fan, especially not recently. But there is just something when Black Panther first came out that struck my very core to this day, and it's never gone anywhere. The love for the movie is always so present. I don't want to get too in-depth on why I love it so much because, as I said, I do want to save it for when I do the video eventually, but just to recap a few things. The blacktivism behind the scenes and how many people were standing up for black rights, even back, well, I don't want to say back then because people have always been standing up for black rights, but you know what I mean. Chadwick Boseman, man, I remember I was so sad when he passed, and especially why, cause cancer's a bitch. Then of course there's one really big reason why I love this movie to this day and why it has so much replayability, in my opinion. Kendrick Lamar. Completely unrelated, but GNX is so fire. Man, back in 2018 when Black Panther first released, there were 2 songs you could not escape. It was All the Stars with SZA, and it was Pray For Me. These two songs primarily featured Kendrick Lamar, although he did have other songs on that album that released with the movie. Fun fact, did you know Kendrick was like directly involved with every single song on the entire soundtrack of the movie? Is that not crazy? Also, major side tangent, the singer SZA and the other singer Sia, I thought they were the same person for like the longest time. And I just found out like 6 months ago that they weren't, and throughout that entire time, I thought SZA was white. I never really bothered to look up SZA and like what she actually looks like, because I didn't consider myself a fan, and I still don't consider myself a fan, although I do listen to some of her music. I'm not really like into SZA like that, you know what I mean? Other than Kill Bill, of course. Also, another major side tangent, her work on GNX with Kendrick Lamar has been so masterful. Just in general, when she collabs with Kendrick Lamar collabs with her, bro. The music, the vibes they have together, like the chemistry, it's so good. Anyway, to wrap this video up, because I have been rambling more about just random topics that I've been wanting to talk about instead of going back to the main topic, which was the Black Panther movie. You should watch the Black Panther movie, and that's probably going to be the first video I release after this, if I see any, like, attraction to it, or not, actually. I've been provided with some free time, so I might just do it as a little passion project. In any case, thank you so much for enduring through this entire very long video. It came out a lot longer than I expected it to be. As always, I'm a yapper. If you really made it to the end and listened this far, like all throughout, you should just like subscribe, because I mean, you really went all this way already. What's the point? You're already in for the long haul. We're already boys, basically. But in all serious, thank you all once again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.